Hey there, welcome back. Thanks for tuning back in. Today I'm going to be working on my uh, Toro recycler. It's a 22-inch cut. I've had this for about 15 years. It was made in 2010. I bought it somewhere around then. Used it for about 10 years. For the last 5 years, my son has had it and used it. Um, he bought a different one. I bought a newer one, so I got this back from him. And the problem I'm having, this is one of those personal pace, sort of self-propelled. It's got rear wheel, and it's just not. It's not moving too well. It's not pushing too well. So I don't know if it has a problem with the belt, or if there's a problem with the gears in the back of these old wheels. Um, it runs well and cuts well. It's just the self-propelled portion doesn't work, and it is 15 years old. It's been used a lot. Um, I don't think I've ever, if I did a tune-up or changed oil or anything on this, it's been years. I'm pretty sure my son did not, since he's had it. So uh, before I get into it, I'm going to go ahead and clean that deck because I'm going to have to get under there to look at the self-propelled belt and everything. Get the oil out so I'm not spilling that as I'm tearing this around, but then we'll change it. And once I get into that deck uh, and look at that belt, I'll bring you back in and see if I can see what's wrong with it. But it does run, so I'll get you set up and I'll show that it runs and just show you what this how not so propelled the self-propelled system is working. All right, so we'll go ahead and get it started. It starts pretty well. It starts usually on the first pull. As you can see, that's not going anywhere. It's really not working. The wheels turn, but with any resistance, they stop. So the wheels do turn when you engage the self-propelled, but once it meets any resistance, it just doesn't go up. So hopefully it's just a slipping belt, an old belt, or maybe some bad gears. But I'll clean it up and see what I can see in it. First thing I'm going to do is drain this oil. I don't know when the last time this oil was changed. When I had this, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. But when I had this, I was still working. I wasn't tinkering around with stuff too much. So, I didn't take care of things probably the way it should. But I mean, it's not completely black. There's a little brown in there. Let me put the. Let's see if I can do this without making a mess. And I'm getting the oil out. I'm not going to put any in because I'm going to be cleaning this deck and turning it around. And I don't want this oil. I don't want the oil getting into the carb or anything while I'm got it tipped up and flipping it around. I'll try to make sure to keep the carburetor up, but I don't know what I don't know what I'm getting into yet. I've never worked on one of these self-propelled systems, so I have no idea if it's just changing a belt or it could be gears or new wheels. Who knows? But I'll get this oil out of here, and then I'm going to clean the deck and get a good idea what's underneath there. So here's the oil that came out of it. I don't see any metal in it, but it is pretty dirty and definitely is due for a change. So here's the underside of this deck. I know this is not the original blade. I changed it several times, and before I gave it to my son, I went sharpen this blade, but it could probably still use a sharpening and maybe just replacement. But the deck's really not in too bad a shape for 15 years, and it's weekly use. for all that time. A little build up, and there's a guard. There's the belt, and I can feel that belt is really loose. I don't think it's supposed to be that loose. I don't know if you can see that. And here's the drive, or the, I don't know, transmission. I don't know what you want to call it, but this is the gearbox that turns the rear wheels. So first I'll clean this up, take this housing off, take a look at the belt. Hopefully it's just a belt. I'll order up another belt, and if it's something in here, then we'll look at that later. But I'll get all this cleaned up to give ourselves a better look at it. All right, got that cleaned up pretty well. Need to take that housing off, and to do that, I think there are just these 2 bolts on the top side of the deck. So I'll loosen up those, get that housing off, and see what's underneath there. All right, those 2 bolts are off. All right, this slips right out. And so that is all the way down. Yeah, and that's just not tight enough. You know, that's at the as fast as it can go speed setting, and that's just not tight enough. So is it the belt, or is it this spring? No, the spring seems fine. I think it's the belt. You can see there's a nick in it here. I'm going to research this belt, see if I can order a new one, and then when it comes in, I'll see the size difference of the 2 belts to see if that's it. So when I get the new belt in, I'll come back to this video and get this lawnmower hopefully buttoned up and ready to go. So it looks like I might be able to find this belt in, like, Tractor Supply or Lowe's or Home Depot or something. So to get that belt off, I think all I got to do is, let me take this guard off first. I just don't want to have to take this spindle off, which I'm probably, looks like I'm probably going to have to, unless I can get it loose down here. See, there's also a housing or a shroud over it right there. I don't know if I can show this. So is this all one piece? No, that's not all one piece. Looks like I don't want to take these out to get these. Yeah, no, that's not. I don't know how I'm going to get a Torx in there to get that off. I mean, even if I got that spindle off, I'd still have to get that belt off of here somehow. So I'm going to work at this a little bit more, and if I'm able to get it off, I will come back and show you how I did it. All right, so it turns out I tried to loosen these up. You can see I got to loosen this one only so far, and then I didn't have any room to loosen it farther because my ratchet was bottoming it out. So what I had to do is take both rear wheels off, which is fine because it gives me a chance to inspect these gears. The gear on here look good, and the gears on both of those wheels look good. So I think our issue is belt and not gears. So, and I had to take 2 bolts on each side and then 1 bolt in the back there to get this plastic sort of shroud off. And hopefully that gives me much better access to this, which it doesn't, unless I'm going to have to take that spring off and see if then I can turn this around to get that belt off. Yeah, taking that spring off allows me to turn this to where I can, but there's this bolt here, and then there's just one in the back side. I'll get this little fan protector off, or this belt protector off, and then get that belt off and replace it. All right, kept the bottom one in. I can get it off without it. I was able to loosen the 2 top ones, and my belt comes off. And it's pretty hard, and I'm thinking it's past its life, so I'll try to find a part number on it and then go see if I can get a replacement one. I was able to find a new belt at Tractor Supply, an OEM Toro belt. This one is you can see it's for front wheel drive. The rear wheel drive, easy for you to say, rear wheel drive belt they didn't have in stock. The part number for this one is 38990. The part number for the rear wheel drive is 38991. From looking online, the dimensions are the same, but when I stretch this out, it's pretty close to the same. But I'll find out. I'll put this one on and see if I actually need the rear wheel drive one. And we'll see if it works. All right, the new belt is all on. I'm going to go ahead and add some oil. To this because we did drain it all. Hopefully I can do this without making a mess. I think this only takes like a quart. All right, let's see if that made any difference. Might have trouble starting because the fuels may have spilled out of that bowl. No. It's obviously too tight. So we'll see if we can't make some adjustments on this. All right, so we can clearly tell by that test that that belt definitely is too small. The front wheel drive and the rear wheel drive have different belt sizes. So I went ahead and ordered a new belt. This is the old one. And I didn't really trust. First I got this one. This was a aftermarket one, an off-brand one from, I don't know, it's Elite. I don't know. But same part number, this 115494669. And here I also got a Toro OEM one with that same part number, 1154669. I'll go ahead and put this Toro one on I'll keep this one as a backup for something else. And let's put the new one on and see if this works right. So it's been about a week since I've last uh, been filming on this mower. And I don't remember what I showed and what I didn't. But I'm just showing you what a pain this is. In order to get that cover off for that drive belt, I have to take both rear wheels off and to get to the little screws that hold those plastic covers on. And once I get these out and flip it back over, I'll show you where these were in the cover that I had to take off. So here's the cover that I'm talking about. This one was the belt cover that came off with 2 screws on top, and then I had to take this one out. Easier said than done. It just fell off my stand. But yeah, I got to take this out to be able to take that guard where that belt is. All right, plastic's all back on. The belt, the new belt is on. Hopefully the correct size belt is on. All the guards are put on. Still got to put this wheel on up here, turn it back on its side, get these bolts in this plastic. I did put an edge on the blade. Probably could use a new one, but for right now I'm going with this. So we'll get this blade on and then we'll test it out. All right, get the rest put back together and we'll test it out and see if it works. All right, well, here goes. Let's first see if it starts, and if it does, let's make sure that works. Well, I'd say that fixed it. It only drove when I wanted to drove, when I pushed the bar down to engage it, and I could do it with one hand easily. So yeah, the correct belt definitely made this work a lot better. This thing is, what, 15 years old, and it hopefully going to last me for quite a while now. I don't think I'll ever have to change that belt again, but if I do, I know how to do it now. Hope this helps somebody. Thanks for watching.